welcome to the first of a series of energy market talks. Because we cannot meet at one of our energy trading events, I'm talking to our community online now to see how this COVID-19 crisis is impacting the market. And today, Erideta Bashi is joining live from Albania. Thanks for joining, Erideta. You're a power
it's a pleasure
trading
for
manager.
me.
Yeah.
Pleasure, yeah.
Thank you. You're a power trading manager at the company KESH in Albania. I see you're not entirely in lockdown. You're at the office now, right?
Yeah. Yes, we were fully locked down till last week, but we started to introduce some presence at work with shifting. So with rotation, making sure that the number of employees in the office is limited and the distances are respected and so on, but it's not on everyday basis. So
okay. So
yeah, started trying to resume our activities gradually.
Okay, and how is this impacting the trading activities if part of the workforce is working from home?
Actually, as long as the trading activities are mostly handled electronically, I think it's not a big deal whether you do it from office or from or in a distance or from home. But again, there are processes that need some interaction, and yes, we started now to introduce, let's say, the new schedule for coming at work and
yeah. So, but for the majority,
normality.
then it's the trading activity.
But the majority is still at home. Yeah, majority is still at home.
Okay. And how is the COVID-19 crisis impacting the markets in the Western Balkans, in the regional markets?
To be honest, so there is not a clear reference price for Western Balkan countries, as long as in most of the countries there is no an organized day-ahead market on national basis. But again, it is CPEX in Serbia or CROPEX, and the tendency is observed, and due to the reduced demand for electricity triggered by the measures against coronavirus, they have driven to lower prices. So I think below 28 euros per megawatt hour, let's say, on average. So there are days that might be lower, but on average basis, it's below 28 euros per megawatt hours.
Wow, yeah. So that's a big impact.
I cannot say it for Albania because we do not have yet an organized day-ahead market, but for the moment we are importing electricity.
Yeah.
And
okay. Go ahead.
No, it looks that for some countries it's kind of opportunity because we are reliant on hydro as a country. The domestic production is relied on hydro, and this is not a good year in terms of rainfall precipitation. And given that the prices are low now, so it's a good opportunity to buy cheap.
Yeah.
And to thanks to the accumulation capacity that we do have, it's good to accumulate reserve for the next months.
Yeah. So you say a lot of is being imported now. So what does the energy mix look like at the moment then?
Yeah, so energy mix is if we talk for Albania, it's related to hydro production only.
Okay.
But this is not the best year, let's say, not the best, but not as good as it was expected, because usually the spring time is the most, let's say, favorable time of the year, which allows for accumulating the energy reserve in our cascade, in our reservoirs, and prepares you for the next month. This was not as expected, but again, This is an example that such a crisis in power prices, the crisis experienced in power prices for their reduction with more than 20%, about 30% lower than compared to the next year, compared to the last year. It turns to be an opportunity for countries like Albania, because it's a good moment to fulfill the demand through importing electricity at cheap prices, and making sure that we have more capacities for summer next month.
Okay, so so for some the crisis has some benefits.
It should be like that.
Clear. So what are your expectations for the future? How long do you think this will go on like this? I know it's very difficult to answer this. But,
it's very difficult. It's hard to say. I have been reading a lot of articles and publications that the works for maintenance works for many utilities, for many plants, and the interconnection lines are postponed. That means that should lead to limited capacities in production, and maybe the prices will go up during summer or in the winter. Depends on the schedule for maintenance. So for this year, probably, we might see some recovery on prices, but difficulties in the security of supply, maybe for many countries. I'm talking for Western Balkans mainly, because we are not integrated like the rest of the Europe. And but in general, related to the impacts or the triggers that these COVID measures may cause. I'm not sure how long it will take, because depends on the measures that each government is going to take for the related country. But one thing is sure, that the demand patterns will change. So the consumers will change their behavior, and automatically the businesses will reshape their business model, because they need to be sustainable, or they need to change something in their business, in their business, in order to, if not, they cannot be, if not being resilient, they need to adapt to the new changes. And this changing the demand patterns will lead, because we are observing it recently. So the demand is not stable day to day. So the quantities, the traded volumes are not stable day by day, which and the shifting of demand is leading to uncertainty on prices, and the prices one day are a little bit, they go in minus, sometimes they try to recover but still remain low. So there is an overall uncertainty in terms of demand and on supply side as well. So I think when the waters will calm, we will see what the outcome, what our outcome will be, what will be out of this. But something I think will change in terms of demand and definitely of supply. And this will trigger then the new patterns or drivers on prices. It's important then. What is important for the time being is that to maintain every power sector should maintain the liquidity, because it will have a domino effect to all the parts of the supply chain, I believe. So maintaining liquidity is very important for the time being.
Well, hopefully we can talk in person at our ETSI conference, which has moved to November, to 18 and 19 November. Hopefully,
hope so.
By then we can see if your predictions came true. Well, for now, Anyway, thank you very much for this chat, and hope to see you in
Thank you.
November then.
Thank you.
Erideta.